Welcome. Episode 2. Huh?
The music.
What about it?
It's still playing.
It's still, yeah, that's because it takes a second for it to load up, dog. Anyways, episode 2, Revelations with your boy, Kid Revel, joined by Wally.
Yes, sir.
Today is a very special episode. It's the first episode of Kid Revel versus the People. And, so, Wally, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, bro. Kind of tired, kind of stressed out.
What's stressing you out?
I mean, last week we were talking about being new to podcasting and editing and stuff. Next week, I'm planning to try to do video for the episode. So it's kind of 20 times more stressful than just doing audio.
Yeah.
And I know what I signed up for. And I'm ready to do it. It's just starting to take the mental drain of the hours of editing. Like I was saying, but it's much more than just editing because now it's stressing about people and it's making sure everything goes a certain way.
You got to be a producer and
it's pretty
host.
fucking
Yeah,
difficult.
I get that.
Especially when it's just supposed to be all off of fun and passion right now and there's no money involved. It's hard to keep people motivated.
100%. Yeah, I get that.
I know that myself, I'm motivated by the passion to do it, and I know with enough work I'll end up getting to the money. But I'm not worried about all that right now. I gotta get my quality. I gotta get the consistency right.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know, bro.
It's all a grind, bro.
Just stress. What about you?
Bro.
Enough about me. What about you?
I've been slightly stressed as well, but we just put out a new song. Yeah. It always feels good as fuck to put something out.
Listen, we've been waiting weeks to drop that.
Song. Yeah, we've been on it.
When y'all first made that, we knew. Oh shit! This song hit.
Yeah.
This song. Oh, bro.
But
I never heard. I was just
releasing music and releasing art, no matter what form it's in, is always a little bit super stressful before you do it. But after the fact, it feels fucking good. Because, regardless of the reaction, it feels good to put out your art and just, to get it out, it's weird. It's like a relief. It's a feeling that you can't really put your finger on it, right? Because it's not like I genuinely really, obviously putting your music out to people who you want to enjoy it, you really want the reaction to be good. You want to get a lot of plays. You want to get a lot of likes. And
you don't want it to be fake. You said, you want it to be genuine.
You want it to be genuine, but my point rather than that is that it's a weird feeling to put out your art because you want the reaction to be good and you do care about the reaction genuinely, but at the same time you can't allow that to motivate you to put it out, or you literally can't let that motivate you in any way. You can't let the numbers guide where you're going. That shit will fuck you in the end.
We say that we don't let the numbers motivate you, but in plenty of industries, there's a lot of people that are money-driven or numbers-driven. So, if it works for you, it works for you. But with the mindset of the numbers and stuff, numbers always end up coming to an end.
Yeah.
A passion or a drive to do something that you want to wake up every day to do and do the best of and try to become, that you're not perfect, but in your world you believe you're the best at it. It's a different type of feeling.
Yeah It's just repetition is the biggest factor in what we're doing. Like you said, you're getting stressed out doing the videos and getting people for the podcast and making everything sync up because it all needs to sync up.
I haven't even posted any videos yet, and it's already stressful before. I don't even have a fan base or anything, and it's already stressful just between the people to be able to do something that is my passion. And so my passion has to be, which it is, strong enough to be able to hold all the people together. Hey, yo, we got this. Let's just push forward. Let's keep working at this until we get there.
Yeah.
Repetition.
100% repetition, dog. All right. So, this episode, Kid Revel versus the People, is going to be a recurring segment. You would say it's like an episode. It's almost a series. It's going to be a recurring show on the Revelations live stream as a whole. What Kid Revel versus the People is just, Q&A episodes. It's the episode where we can interact with you guys and really let you guys, whatever we talk about from a week-to-week basis, I want you guys to be able to weigh in and ask any questions about specific things that you guys want to, any burning questions you might have about me in general, or about Wally, or about any guest that's on the episode, And yeah, so Kid Revel vs. the People is just our little Q&A series, and so we've got a good amount of questions here gathered up from you guys, and we're just going to dive into them.
I bet. So, from Emily, I apologize. I'm illiterate. Emily DeWolf asked, what's your dream collaboration or someone you would want to work with in the future? I've always wanted to ask you this, and I never had, so it's great that.
That's a good question. I don't have to choose one person, do I?
I'd say, because you like your different genres, so pick 3.
3 collaborations. Okay, number 1, Rick Rubin, easily.
Okay.
Rick Rubin is in my opinion.
What genre would you
do with Rick Rubin?
No, would you consider his music? Because
he's done everything. Rick Rubin is the fucking godfather, bro.
So you can your interests are aligned, so that's why.
Yeah, he's really like, because he did the Beastie Boys albums. He was like, that's really how he got his big start, was with the Beastie Boys. He's done a fucking Johnny Cash. Mm-hmm. He did Johnny Cash. He brought him back, basically. Yeah. Like he did his album that brought him back from the dark ass place that he was in and everything. Mm-hmm. And he's done a lot of other fucking shit. He's worked with Kanye. He made Yeezus with Kanye, and he's done Jay-Z records. I think he did The Blueprint. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, he's a legend. But I would love to do a hip hop record with him, to be honest, because that seems to be like his strong suit. Okay. I wouldn't say his strong suit, because he's an overall fucking mastermind. But yeah, Rick Rubin. I would love to do a fucking song, or at least a project with Rick Rubin.
Your second.
I gotta say, so collaboration and like whoever my favorite artists are 2 very different things. So I would have to say, if I was to make a song, it's a good question, because like my favorite artists don't necessarily align with who I would want to make music with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I want to say people like Frank Ocean, and I want to say like
there's a difference between people that you would want to collaborate with, and then there's a difference between people that your music really doesn't align with.
Yeah, so it's
you can admire them, but you can't really see yourself collaborating with them.
Yeah, well, I think I could do a song with Frank Ocean. So I'll say number 2 is Frank Ocean, because that's one of my favorite artists of all time. Yeah. His features are amazing, so it would be insane to get a feature from him, or just to get in the studio with him and be able to make a song. So that's like an artist. I feel like collaborating with an artist or with a producer is like 2 very different things. You know what I'm saying? Because one, you make the song with them, and you both have your lyrical parts, and you probably talk about the beat with whatever producer you're working with. But when you're working with a producer, you're the artist, they're the producer. You're making you gotta fucking sync up, and you make this whole song together. So Rick Rubin for producer, for sure. Frank Ocean for artist.
And then for the third one, let's end it with a band. Dead or alive?
Tame Impala. It's one person, but Tame Impala for sure. Tame Impala is so fire.
I really thought you were going to say the Beatles, personally.
Bro, half of them are dead.
I said dead or alive.
Oh, Beatles. Easily, obviously.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Dead or alive.
No, I didn't pick that. I didn't pick up on that. I was thinking alive, because I was thinking like, yeah, dead or alive, easily the Beatles. That'd be fucking insane. But I feel like I would embarrass myself in the studio.
Everybody starts somewhere, bro.
Is that you?
No.
Okay. Whose ding was that? Oh, okay, got you. Anyways, that was Emily's only question, right?
Yeah.
Let's do GB's questions, because I don't know if he's here or not. Ben, you can let me know if GB's here, but I know he was going to be in here early and he couldn't stay through the whole thing. So let's do GB's questions just real quick.
I bet.
Not real quick, but
GB said, what's your ultimate goal in music?
Deep question.
Well, that's why I want to do it first.
Yeah. Okay, so my ultimate goal in music.
Because that's a broad question. So
it's a broad question, but here I'll start it off like this. It's like music isn't my only aspiration. It's not my only goal in life to be a good musician. Yeah. Like, it's not. I love music. It's my passion right now, and it's what I'm the best at, and it's what I know I can do and I can be successful at, and I love to do. And if I made it my career and it happened to be the rest of my life, I would not be mad about it at all. Yeah. Because I fucking love it. But So I'll just preface it with that. I'm gonna do other things outside of music. So this isn't my life goals. These are just my music goals.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a lot of things. I wanna, historically, people who go to war with the music industry, the corporate music industry, don't come out.
Unless they're a mainstream person.
Don't come out very hot, right? So, but still a goal of mine. A goal of mine is to rework the system that is the music industry and the way that record labels play gatekeeper with these smaller artists and push them into I can't say, because I have a very iffy opinion on all this kind of stuff, because while half of me thinks that record labels know exactly what they're doing when they sign a smaller artist and they're taking advantage of them, and they're using these smaller artists basically to like blow them up and then kind of fuck off with them, like when they're not hot anymore, and kind of just like fuck them over.
Yeah.
And half of me thinks that these artists who they're signing and they're giving this money to and are supposedly getting fucked, I don't think most of them are capitalizing on their deal. Not necessarily that I'm saying, like, what I'm saying is with their advance, most of them probably blow it on cars and chains and other things, rather than trying to set up their own business and make their own money out of it, so that the whole industry thing doesn't even matter. They're like, okay, whatever, have whatever you wanted, take your advance back. I took that investment and I made something out of it, and therefore I became a huge artist and made my own label, whatever. Those are like my two views. Is it's like, are the labels really fucking these people, or are the people that are complaining about it the ones who didn't capitalize on the clout that the record labels were giving them in the first place?
I feel like it's split down the middle, because if you become a mainstream artist, you have the power, you have the money to be able to get out of the contract with that label, start your own label, be able to get out of it. Yeah. Smaller time artists that front like they have a bunch of money or whatever may not have as much control, since they're not as mainstream of an artist.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, I would say a big part of my goal is to, I don't even know enough about, I haven't been in the industry long enough to be that deep and to know all these back things.
Yeah,
but
we're just getting started.
A big part of my my musical goal is to create a label or a company, or for whatever the fuck it's going to end up being, under which I can support independent artists. And support them, like, not just give them money. It's like a return on investment type of deal, but I'm not going to own their masters. I'm not going to do any of this. I'm going to give them a platform.
That's going to be the minimum to get your return on the investment, but set that person up in a position that to be able to be like, fuck you to the label.
Exactly. I want that's a big goal of mine, is to be able to create a...
Pretty sure we're on the same mindset.
Yeah, to create a way for independent artists who are truly talented and don't want to do no gimmicky, crazy shit and shoot guns and get in trouble and go to jail. Like, I just want to create a safe environment for young, talented musicians to get better and to grow and to grind without fucking taking advantage of them and turning into something that it doesn't need to be and getting too greedy with it. Like, that's a big goal of mine.
Facts.
So that's one. I'd love to win like a Grammy and all that shit, but at the end of the day, that shit doesn't really, like, I don't really care about that shit. Like, if I never won a Grammy, I wouldn't be pissed. Like, genuinely, I wouldn't be that mad. And
because that, at the end of the day, is a system vote. That's not
it's not something.
That's not a genuine thing. That's like who paid for the most plays on.
Nowadays, I don't trust any of those guys. Like, I don't trust no Academy with any of that shit.
It's just very dulled down and watered down to what the meaningfulness of winning one used to be.
Yeah.
Now it's like almost anybody could do it. So it's just not as worth it.
Yeah, and so I would say like
not a goal.
Like my last goal is sort of it's hard to explain. It's really like I want to push. Well, see, I don't know if I want to push my genre forward or if I just want to create my own lane. But like, I want to get into some crazy shit. Like once I come up as like a fairly mainstream artist, I'm going to keep my sound pretty mainstream. I'm going to just do what I need to do for a little while. I'm going to flip shit up like crazy. And like, I'm just going to try experimenting and doing whatever the fuck I want, regardless of the reaction. I just want to expand my horizons as an artist and hopefully have a long-term impact on the rap game and you know, whatever genre I end up being placed in, whether that's fucking pop or rap or whatever the fuck. I just want to expand, because music to me has gotten so, like, I don't like listening to new music anymore. Very rarely I do. I can't say I don't like it, but very rarely I enjoy newer music, because just the way, and, you know, it's like, people could say this about my music too. I'm not going to claim I'm the most original fucking person in the world, but a lot of music is so similar, and it's cookie cutter, and it's just like, it's all the same shit, and either you're in that, or you're in the fucking crazy experimental shit where nobody gives a fuck about you. And I don't see any in between, any mainstream, like, other than Kendrick, and Kendrick's the best example of it. Other than people like that, it's like the growth of music has seemed to cease, like, just in its fucking steps. Like, it's, I don't know, you can argue against me if you want, but that's just how it feels to me.
No, if I disagreed with you, I'd be speaking up. I just feel like it's kind of exactly what you said. I don't want to re-say what you said.
Bland. It's just like, you know, feels a lot the same. So that's a big goal of mine, is once I kind of can pop and start making money and all that shit with the mainstream stuff, because I know that's necessary. I'm not fucking delusional. I don't think I can be a fucking underground dude recording on analog cassettes and fucking reversing the beat and doing a bunch of weird shit and fucking playing a trumpet in a bathroom. Like, I don't think I can do all that crazy shit and be a fucking mainstream artist, or that people will care, because that's not the age we live in. People care about what's popular, and that's just a fact. And so I'll do what I gotta do to get there, but a major goal of mine is to fucking, you know, expand people's envelopes a little bit.
The second question from GB. He was saying, at what age or when? Oh, lights out.
If the light's dead, you can just turn the main light on, Ben.
So yeah, the color's changing.
Welp, unfortunately, our cool little light died, so we're back with the shitty lighting. I'll figure it out for next time. It's all good. So what is GB's second question?
GB's second question was, when did you realize you wanted to do music?
I explained this a little bit in the last episode. I don't know, like, you know, if you weren't here for the last episode, it's all good. That's so funny. If you weren't here for the last episode, it's all good. It'll be a little bit of a reminder, but when did you realize that you want to do music? Well, it's been like an in and out interest almost, because since I was little, I've been making music literally since, like, I can remember. I've been playing music, and throughout my life I've gone through stages of, I was a drummer, and then I was DJing for a little bit just for fucking around, started producing, making beats and stuff. Is that good?
Yeah, no, I'm listening. I'm just trying to make sure this shit don't fall out.
Started making beats and shit, started recording myself over my own beats, and then eventually came to the point where I was recording my vocals over other people's beats, and that's where I felt the most comfortable and everything.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say there was a point where I said I wanted to do music. Like, I knew I wanted to do music, except for a little experience me and that man had.
Ben.
On a substance that shall not be named. It was just a crazy experience where I kind of came to the realization that it was like, that's what I was supposed to be doing. And so that's like, I don't want to explain that whole thing, because I'm sure I'll get into it in another episode, but throughout my life, I've gone through phases of almost being super into music and then being uninspired and then trying something else out, like film, or like, it was mostly film. It was either I wanted to be a musician or a filmmaker. And so it was like film, music. And then after that experience and like very long conversations about what I want to do with my life and what I'm most happy doing and like where I feel the most comfortable, the music shit sort of just presented itself. And so, you know, that was 3 years ago. So like when I started rapping officially, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I guess it was 3 years ago. But like I said, throughout my life, it's been either I'm going to be a filmmaker or a musician, and there's no really other options.
Because were you making, I'm sure they were shit. Like, I still can't, but were you making beats and stuff before you started rapping? And
Yeah.
So you were a producer first.
I was a producer
you're
first.
Still producing. You're still making beats.
Back to it. I haven't in a long time, though, yeah.
You're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a natural, like, rhythm maker. That's why, like, my drum beats are so good. But that's because I was drumming since I was a fucking baby.
So drumming just comes easy.
Yeah, drumming and rhythm comes really easy to me, but that's not really the point. Point's more, I want to become a fucking masterclass producer and a masterclass artist, which is really hard to do, but I feel like if you put enough time and effort into
those
both,
are all the greats.
Yeah, exactly. You
have
feel like
to master
important.
all crafts of the music industry.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's when I realized when I wanted to do music. 3 years ago, but also I always knew. So thank you for your question, GB.
As far as the questions, who'd you want to go next?
Let's go Jesse last because he has the most.
I bet. So we'll do Max. What do you think?
Max is here. Is Max here? Whatever.
From Max.
Love you, dog.
What do you think defines you more, the actions you have taken or the actions you will take? Damn, that's a
deep. He's a deep motherfucker.
Oh my god.
That Max. Yeah, so what do you think defines you more? The actions you've taken or the actions you will take? So depends, right? So it's like at my age, I think the actions I will take are more important, right?
Yeah.
But with age, that changes. 100% that changes in my book. Because, as a youngin' for me, I made a lot of fucking stupid decisions. Like, I made a lot of dumb decisions.
That's all teenagers.
But I made a lot of good decisions that led me to where I am now. And so it's like, I think the decisions I've made in my past have created the future that I can take more choices, make more choices that will lead me further and further and further. That's a deep one because it's like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't make the choices I made in the past, right? Like, I wouldn't be here, and therefore I wouldn't be in the position. So I would say, at this point in my life, most likely the actions I'm going to take are more important, or define me more, most likely, just because I haven't done, enough for me to look back and be like, there's a mistake that did this, or there was a decision that made this. It's like, I feel like there could have been multiple paths that led me to a similar position that I'm in now. But I feel like, in a few years, that might be different.
Yeah.
In a few years, I could have made the decisions that'll either make or break my entire life.
In a few years, you could either make the decisions that, like you said, make or break your life, but not necessarily that. They could put you on a different path away from music that you, at this point in time, setting a 5-year plan or whatever, never thought that you would be at, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Life is crazy.
Yeah, life is a motherfucker.
When you think you're going one direction, it will take you the opposite.
Yeah, I agreed. 100%.
So you just gotta take every second with a grain of salt.
Agreed. All right, let's do Javi.
Javi, let's start with, what advice would you give someone who wants to start making music?
What advice would I give to somebody? Start now. Like right now.
Don't wait.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like
today.
It's not like when you start in 5 years after you've been thinking about it for a long time, you're going to be better. You're just not.
Yeah.
No matter what age you are, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, find a way to start creating, whether it's on your phone, whether it's writing songs in a book and just remembering them in your, just start now. That's all I got to say, literally. Start now. And, it's very important to be confident in yourself, but also to remember that you ain't shit.
Yeah.
For me, at least. Because,
shit.
I'm so confident in myself. Like, I'm so confident in my music and the potential that it has. And yet, when I listen to my music, I'm like, I fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's both, right? And it's a healthy dose of both. You can't be too down on yourself where you're afraid to release things, but you can't be too up on yourself where you're releasing music that isn't of the utmost quality. So you always need to focus on getting better and never, feeling yourself too heavily. And I feel like for all natural artists, that'll come naturally. Some people, you kind of need to train it into you. Train it. You kind of need to practice. Because I don't know what makes that personality type. The personality type that you think you're the shit and yet you think you're fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what makes that personality.
It's called humble.
I don't know if anybody has it, but it's not humble because it's like.
No, because
Does humble mean you are something, but you just pretend you're not? Almost.
The most humble people are not successful. That's not true. If you look at pretty much the most successful people, yeah, where they are right now, they may not be on the most 110% level of being humble. But when they start to get to a certain point of being successful, I definitely feel like they continued that because, yeah, it's greed and stuff will lead you to a certain amount of success. But bad intentions and doing bad things to people end up coming back to you.
Yeah.
No matter if you become a billionaire or whatever, you'll end up someday becoming in debt or some it'll always catch up to you. There's no outrunning the wrongs that you do.
Yeah, look at Epstein.
I'm just saying. You brought it there, but
he didn't kill himself.
I would not be surprised if Trump ended up going down for that shit too. Because I saw a video the other day, bro, and
I don't know, bro.
They were at a ball.
I trust
on
the
Epstein
Clintons,
Island, and he was like, "I like that girl."
No, they were friends.
No, bro. The Clintons and Trump were friends with Epstein. I don't trust anybody. Trust nobody. They're all lizards. Anyways.
You know that's an issue when the people at the same party are beefing with each other. The Clintons and fucking Trump, bro. You know that's an issue when a few years ago they were in on some awful shit together, and then I don't know. We don't like each other. Just saying. That's pretty fucked.
See if Jaden or Connor wants to ask a question, because they can get in here too. All right, so what was that question? Oh, what would you tell somebody who
what would you tell music? Someone if they
start
want to
now
making music?
And never be satisfied. Those are like the two that I would say. And always fucking practice. Like, it's important because it make it something that you fucking enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy it, don't make music. That's all I gotta say. If you are like, oh, I gotta practice music today, fuck, I don't want to get any better. It's not like that. It's like if you like, obviously the emotions go more like, I don't want to practice music today because I'm not that good, and I don't want to feel bad, and I don't want to do this and that. That's not the fucking point, bro.
Yeah.
It's not. So it's just like, get to it. Throw all those fucking insecurities in the garbage because they won't get you anywhere, you know? And, you know, everybody has insecurities, but when it comes to a talent and when it comes to making music or making art and something that you need to practice at, there's no time for fucking insecurities. You just got to work. And so, yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
A question from Jesse that I think is really good.
You just want to go back and forth, or you want to go another way?
Because for how I feel like you already touched up on if you had the power to change. You already touched up on that. Mm-hmm. So for Jesse, like the only one that you really haven't touched up on was, do you play any instruments? From Jesse.
Do I play any instruments? Well, I mentioned that I played drums since I was younger, but I literally haven't touched a drum set in probably over a year. So who knows about that one? Mm-hmm. I'm learning guitar as we speak. I'm sort of self-teaching myself, but I want to be really good at the guitar because I want to play it on stage and I want to make most of my music based around it. And then I know a tiny bit of piano, and I used to play bass. I played bass for like 2 years, and I was really good at it.
That sounds
but
hard as fuck.
I don't remember playing bass. I don't remember playing it. I don't remember how.
Isn't that heavy as a motherfucker?
No, it's just like like an electric bass guitar.
Yeah. Kept dumbass over here, bro, I swear.
But yeah, so I played bass for 2 years. I should get back to that because I was actually good at it, and so if I got back to that, it would probably do well with the guitar. I'm learning guitar as we speak. And piano, I know a tiny bit of, but I just basically know enough to produce. Like, that's about it. And I can't do good productions. I can do 808s. I know key signatures and that shit. And so, that's about it. I'm not a big instrument guy anymore, which sucks. But I'm getting back into it. I play guitar, at least once a day. So, working on it. Jesse, have any other good questions?
How did you get inspired to start writing? Not making music, not making beats, to like genuinely start writing some. Because you're again.
Like, when did I start getting started? How did I?
How did something inspire you to start writing?
Like the first time ever.
Yeah.
Is that Jesse's question or is that like a...
That's just Jesse's question.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, David's here. We'll get to that one after. The first start writing, it was mostly, if you watched the last episode, you kind of know a little bit of the story, but the first time I ever wrote a real song was with my homie Trip. Tripster made it. He made the Hold Your Peace cover art and the Go Getter cover art. Shout out at Tripster Made It on Instagram. Follow that boy. We made a song on a fucking Yeti mic, like the fucking podcasting one.
Yeah, what was it called?
Yeah.
Can you remember it?
No.
How was it? What kind of beat was it?
The beat. I made the beat actually. It was a beat I made. It was like a crazy 808 beat with like a bunch of fucking like choirs and stuff.
So not something that we'd hear today.
No, it was like
long way from there.
Like it was some like drill shit. Like it was crazy. Or something. It was crazy. Yeah, but it was like crazy 808s and shit. It was like one of those like choir like orchestral beats. Anyway, so I think that was the first song, not the first song I ever wrote, but the first time I actually sat down and was like, let's write some shit. And so that's how it started. And then I sort of just started trying to make songs out of my beats. And so like I would just have a beat and I would try and write a chorus for it and like a hook and a little bit of, and like other shit like that.
Yeah.
And that was really just how it started. It started for shits because I never really thought I was going to turn into a fucking
artist.
Yeah, I never thought I was going to be like a real artist. So yeah, I mean, it just started off as jokes, and then slowly I started kind of writing little things that like were a little bit more catchy and like things that were a little bit more like that. And then
being kind of artist-esque.
Yeah, I was just like I was trying to like because I wasn't writing it to put it out, right? It's not like I care about what I say.
You were like, oh shit, I'm having fun with this.
Yeah, I was just having a little fun. I was just thinking about like writing some little things. It was I would mostly freestyle and get melodies out. Like that's really how it started. Is I would just throw the headphones on, throw auto-tune on my voice, and just start fucking throwing melodies to my beats, and then words would just come out. It would just be like little freestyle words.
Yeah.
And then eventually I started writing words to those melodies. And then they would be kind of corny, and I would just be stealing bars from other artists and shit. And then,
What? Is this a...
No. That shit's hilarious. But yeah. Yeah, so it was a progression, right? Like it started off just making little shit for my beat, getting melodies down, doing all that stuff. And then eventually I started adding words that I didn't really mean. Like it was like, my first song that I ever put out that I like really liked, it was like the chorus was like
What grade were you in?
I was in, I think it was my freshman or sophomore year.
So as you started high school, so there was no running into kids that were making music that kind of made you be like, oh shit, I want to start doing music.
Yes and no. There was one kid who was a grade above me. August.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So long ago. And he was fucking fire at making beats. He was like a piano kid. Like he was good at the piano.
Did he rap?
No, he was just a producer. And so he made fucking ridiculous beats, like without even trying. And I was like, that really inspired me to start making beats. But it also slightly disinspired me. Like it was like, fuck, this dude's so good at this and I can't do it.
It demotivated you because
slightly.
you thought that you couldn't be to that caliber.
Yeah. And that's just like one of those things that you got to go through and you got to realize it's not true. But also, I sort of became the guy who was like the male guy who was rapping at school, like a little bit, like because that was like, you know, it's like there was girls who wanted to be singers and all that kind of stuff, but I became the dude that was like the rapper kind of at school, and so that sort of became. Don't read that, but it's so distracting.
No, I'm not.
Anyways, yeah, so it was a progression, and it really went from joking around and fucking around with my homie, to me just testing out, trying to get melodies on my beats, and then eventually I made some shit I liked. But yeah, so I forgot to say this. My first song that I ever put out, like the chorus was literally like, please don't fuck with my gang. Please don't fuck with my squad. Like I got a gold chain or something like that. Like it was like the corniest shit you could even fucking, like you couldn't make it up.
But you felt it and you...
I guess, dude. No, I felt it as in like I felt the melodies and shit, but I was just writing bullshit, dude. Like it was, like I was even doing that until probably like a year or less, probably a year ago. I was even like rapping about like some shit that it was just like the gang shit and like the stuff that I was like, it doesn't matter if you say this stuff.
Did you ever rap? Do you have any songs about like a fight or anything like
a fight?
Do you like? I know you have a bunch of songs and like. The lyrics are very good, but are any of the lyrics of any of your songs directly derived from a experience that you went through?
A beef? Or any experience?
Any experience.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
But like you were saying, you were rapping hard in the beginning and stuff. And so if you're going to start rapping hard about stuff, and if you're in high school, I'm sure you're getting into some fights, you're doing this and that.
Yeah, well, I was getting into fights and I was hanging out with people that I considered to be... about that life. Yeah. In retrospect, they weren't really. They were kind of just, fucking not claims, but they sort of just put on a front like they were doing things that they weren't really about. But like that shit all ended one night. It was like, I forget if it was like a Halloween or something. Mm-hmm. I forget when it was, but we were on the block and just chilling, smoking a blunt in the alley. And this car pulls up. Two dudes get out. One of the dudes was like, "The fuck you doing in this alley?" Mm-hmm. Other dude had his hand behind his back like this. Mm-hmm. And that was it, bro. Dipped.
You met some real gangsters.
Full speed. I was like, you know what? People I'm hanging out with are not worth dealing with people like that, bro.
It'd be different if you were forced to be like that.
Well, I'll make a little distinction right here, and I'm sure I'll be repeating this a lot. Mm-hmm. You're not a real gangsta if you're not forced into that position. Yeah, exactly. Whether that's your family, whether that's your neighborhood, whether that's your living conditions, whatever. If you're forced into it, I get it. But if you decide at an older age that you just want to be in a gang because you want people to hang out with and you want to do criminal activity because you're feeling rebellious, you're a fucking clown. Like that shit is... Yeah, you're a fucking clown. Like, that's all I gotta say about that. You're a fucking joke. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
It's just not because it's people's real lifestyles that you don't see people wearing military uniforms and stuff that were not actually in the military. When people see that, they either get arrested or somebody that was in the military will actually call them out on it or say something. So it's along the same lines. It's just... You gotta, if you're gonna represent something that you are. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, no, I can't really respect people that just lie in their music. Like, I exaggerate things and I say crazy shit, but I do not lie.
But you're coming on here and letting people know, I know I'm not about that.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll say that every time anybody asks me about a bar like that.
Exactly.
Because I can explain it. Because I don't.
There's context behind it. When you put context behind it.
Get a little closer to the mic.
When you put
you don't need to be that close.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Just like
when you put context behind it, it's seen, it's heard in a different light. If you're one that can be mature enough to understand what is being said, you can understand it. If you don't understand why you should not fake something that you're not
mature enough to be.
Then that's just okay. Then I know what I am. I know I'm not about anything but being a little white boy. trying to do some podcasts, trying to do some stuff with my boys.
Yeah.
Anything else, that's not me. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's
I can't be seen in a light that I'm not, because later on
that shit'll
that's
come back.
not me.
No, yeah, no, that's
not me.
That's how people get trapped in like a continuous loop of lies.
6ix9ine.
Yeah.
6ix9ine.
Yeah.
He was a white boy that got a bunch of tattoos. Said, "Oh, yo,
Mexican.
join this gang. You make good music. We'll rep you." Basically, that happened. That's not me.
Yeah. No, that's
that I will never.
Yeah, that's an age-old story. Is the dude who thinks he's harder than he is and gets himself in too deep. Like,
you can't do it.
It's age-old. But yeah, so
just avoid it.
Yeah, just spit that real shit. At least that's what I try and do, for the most part.
I think we touch up on all the questions from
on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if there's any I want to talk about. Do you want to do any more about the writings from Jesse, or like are either of those good? Like, when did you learn songwriting? How do you start to write?
How often would you? Because I know you just dropped a song and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But for some artists, it may take longer because they may need a producer and they may need an engineer. They may need a whole team of people. For you, maybe by yourself, like, how fast can you make a song? How fast do you record? Like a song that you're 100%
done with?
Yeah. Say you have a goal in a day to knock out 2 or 3 songs or something. Maybe not mix and master them fully, but just get the template of it out.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
How to get you're saying not a done song, not a mix and master.
No, not like
just record it in a version that's listenable.
Yeah.
I could do it in 2 hours.
And then mixed and mastered.
Mixed and mastered, because it goes like this for me. So I'll just kind of go into my process a little bit.
Are you taking longer to mix and master or record?
Mix and master easily.
Okay.
Because it's like this. It's like when I come to a new song, it's always like find a beat first. I almost never have a chorus before I have the beat. Find a beat, throw it up, listen to it, go through a few beats, find someone I really vibe with at the time. A melody will almost always pop into my head, just something light. And I'll have the melody, a few words will pop in, something will just pop it. I'll just vibe with it for a little bit. I'll write down the few words that I got down, vibe with it for a little bit. Eventually, I'll have a little chorus out, within 10, 15 minutes. I'll have a chorus, and then the harder part for me is writing verses, because verses for me used to be a very filler. Like the melodies weren't as good as the choruses, the bars weren't as good as the choruses. It was very filler because it was very easy for me to come up with a hook with catchy lines and a catchy melody. But then when it came to doing that again, it's like I can't do a bunch of choruses as a verse. Yeah. It needs to change up somehow. I needed to make it more substance. I need to add more substance to it. So it's like that became a little harder for me for a little while. But nowadays it'll just be like I'll get the chorus down and then I'll just want to write my verses out with it, so I don't have to go back and do it after I record the choruses. So I'll try and write everything out. Doesn't always end up being the final version because obviously I tweak things as I'm recording them and as I figure out how I like to everything to stack up and how everything to line up and everything, obviously. But so I'll write everything within probably a half an hour. Okay. Like it doesn't take me too long to write. And then the recording process is probably another half an hour to 45 minutes because if I have highs that I want to hit that are being a little difficult for me at the time, or if there's certain effects that like if because the effects don't really come in as the main process. That's a little bit more the mixing and mastering. They don't really all come in while I'm recording. But if I have an idea for something, I need to make it happen then. You know what I'm saying? Like
right then and now before you forget
Before I forget, because it's just like it needs to fucking. I just want to get it all down.
It's the grinding flow. Once you're on that creative flow, you can't stop because you're afraid you're gonna miss out on it or forget it.
Yeah, exactly. So recording will be like probably 30 to 45 minutes total. Like, and then after that, I'll sit and I'll make a listenable version. That shit'll take me another half an hour. So it's like, hour and a half, hour 45 to get like the whole little blueprint out. Yeah. And then the mixing and mastering part is where it gets a little crazy because to create a listenable version is one thing and to create a version that I'm happy with is another thing. Because I can listen to it, but the more times I listen to that shit, the more my fucking ears are just going to snatch up the little issues with it. Whether that's in the mix, whether that's my vocal range, whether that's in whatever. I will figure it out with my ears. And then I'll have to go back and just try everything until I can fix it. And sometimes that shit takes a fucking long time. So
it varies.
It varies. So it'll be like, not a set. If I was given a date, I could do it. I always do it if I have a date. I'll get it out. But if I'm given my own time, a song won't be mixed for 2-3 weeks. Just because. Take your time. But I need to take my time because if I try and get it out, then the final version I have, I'm gonna hear something wrong with it and be pissed. So it's like, I try not to listen to the songs too much also because that'll make you go a little numb to your mix. and you'll think, oh, that's right.
True.
So, yeah, time varies for mixing and mastering, but that's the most important part in my opinion.
We got the chat pulled up, so I'm gonna ask a few questions from the chat.
You want to do
David's?
Well,
you haven't had your first concert yet,
bro? And huh? Juvon, the show?
Yeah, is that one?
Where's the show question? Oh. Do you remember how many people came to your first concert or kickback to show off your music? And GB's question. Okay. So David, your question, do you remember how many people came to your first concert or kickback to show off your music? I'm not sure if I ever had a real kickback to show off my music, but I had the first show I was ever invited to perform at. Probably 30 people there. Max. It might have been 20 or like 15. Like it wasn't a lot. Were you there?
Yeah. The one with Juvon?
Were there multiple? Am I an idiot?
I haven't been to one. I know that.
Where was it?
I don't remember. But
was it in Malibu?
No.
Okay. That's not the one I'm thinking of then. So the one I was thinking of is like 20 people. I performed. This was so long ago. It was like 4 years ago. 3 years ago. And it couldn't have been 4 years ago. I'm an idiot. Like 3 years ago. And so it was my first like real show. It was probably like 15 people pulled up max. Wasn't even for me though. It was like there were like 6 people on the thing. And so half like a third of the people that was even there were the ones performing. But it was like a cookout almost. It was like food was there and then people were performing. And it was sick. You know, it was just good vibes, bro. We smoked multiple fat gorilla thumbs that night. And yeah. So wait, Ben. Where was that? Because I want to remember this so I can talk about it.
It was somewhere in the city. I don't remember exactly.
And I performed. Or did I just play music?
I want to say you did, but I don't remember. I remember you being on stage, but I was also on stage, and I don't make any sort of music.
Oh, you mean when it was Juvon's show and there was like the mini stage in the middle and like it was just like people came in and then we were just on stage jumping around with them for a while?
I think so. I honestly don't remember.
Okay, I don't think I performed then.
Well.
Whatever. But yeah, so it was not a lot of... I was there. David was there? That's crazy. What? Am I tripping?
Yep.
Whoa. Man, that was before I... Was that before I knew you? Because I feel like, whoa, that's insane. Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's insane. I guess I'm waiting for him to say so, but yeah, no, I went to Hamilton with David, and so I think that was before I knew him because it had to be. I think. Anyways, yeah, it was not that many people. I had to leave early, and that's why you don't remember. Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, that was crazy. I can't wait to do shows again, bro. Shoes. I can't wait to do shoes again.
Shoes.
I can't wait to do shows again though, bro. Like because we're gonna be putting on our own shows. I have a big plan to sort of create a platform for my homies and anybody else. What time is it? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So I have a big plan to just sort of to give myself and other people a platform to perform once all this Rona shit goes away and just to host shows because I really want to bring a community aspect back to the music in LA. You know what I mean? Like shit has gotten so weird. I mean, with Corona you can't even really talk about that shit because it's just like obviously nobody can really link up, but before that it felt like it was so divided. Like LA is such a divided city. I just want to create something organic that we can just fucking
be LA again.
Yeah, we can just do that LA shit again because it's like, I don't know, shit has gotten so jaded. And so GB's question, GB wants to know if I want to collab with him and Bo. Of course, that rhymes.
No, collab again.
That was a bar,
no,
GB.
He wants to know.
That was a bar.
Collab again.
He wants to know.
Don't ruin it.
Collab with
Don't ruin it, bro. It was a bar. Yeah, obviously, bro. I'm gonna have GB and Bo on the show. It'll probably have to be pre-recorded because they're in England. But fuck yeah, bro. We've made some hits. Me and Bo have made some serious smashes. I made a smash with GB. That shit did really well. And yeah, we need a third shit. We need a 3-way collab song. Pause. Yes. The answer is yes, GB. Is that it?
Yeah.
That all the questions for today?
Wait, I got no more.
All right.
You got anything else?
Well, so let me do a little thingy. So yeah, Kid Revel vs. the People is gonna be a recurring segment on this show. I'll announce it a little bit more prior to the episode next time.
It won't be every week.
So yeah, definitely we won't be doing Q&As every week because we need time to do discussions, to do interviews, and to break down some of the marketing that I've been doing for you guys. And yeah, so as for the time for this show, it seems like an hour is where it's going to sit at because I wanted to test it a little bit to see where the discussions ended up landing. And so it seems like an hour around for now. Because it seems like we couldn't get as much done in half an hour. But yeah, so this will be a recurring segment on the show. And, you know, we'll gather your questions before and then we'll let you know. David said, I used to call you Ash Ketchum with bars. But yeah, so, you know, if you have any questions regarding things we talked about on this episode or anything we talk about in any episode, just DM me, send me it anywhere. Just, you can get the question to me in any manner you want. I will figure out how to get it onto a document so we can get it for the next episode, and I'll announce it like a week, 2 weeks prior, and then I'll remind you guys when we're doing the next Q&A episode. Next week, I'll be having Lil Terror himself on the show. tchdown dropped yesterday.
Fire.
Stream it on all platforms. It's available everywhere. You can search Kid Revel or Lil Terror on any platform. You can search tchdown, Kid Revel. You can search whatever you want. It'll be there. You can also check the link in my Instagram bio. Yeah, so I'll be having Lil Terror on next week. We'll be talking about that song. We'll be talking about the upcoming project, everything we've been working on. We've been doing so much. We've been doing the most. Going to be shooting a lot of crazy shit in these upcoming weeks for you guys, and I really can't fucking wait. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Revelations Live with your boy, Kid Revel, and Wally.
Have a great night.
Have a great night.
Wally is Wally on Instagram.